you said, first of all, that you have a very good relationship with your children. So congratulations on that. You said they're out there in the world, making their way forward on multiple fronts simultaneously. They're doing everything they can to pursue the truth. That's what you do. And that doesn't mean that the victories that you attain are going to be obvious or easy. I do believe that there isn't anything that can stand up against the truth. And I believe that, I think, to some degree, because it just seems self-evident. It's like, if the truth is deeply reflective of the structure of reality, the claim that the lie can dominate is the claim that the unreal can defeat the real. And that's, you are literally insane if you believe that. So if your children are doing what they can to live by and speak the truth, they'll find their way. And the beneficial consequences of that wayfinding may not be immediately obvious, but that's also partly why you need to have faith. Because here's a good way of thinking about faith. Let's say you have faith in the truth. Well, but then if I tell the truth, I'm going to get into trouble. And then you might think, well, then I better not say what I have to say, or I better lie in this situation, because otherwise there's going to be trouble. Well, that just means that you have misplaced faith in your current interpretation of trouble. Because a deeper faith says, and this is very useful to know, if you're telling the truth, whatever happens is the best thing that could happen. Right, that's the statement of faith. So in the opening sections of Genesis, it's the Word of God that creates habitable order out of chaos. And that's analogous to this process I described before of confronting chaos and generating order in consequence. Now, every time God uses truthful speech to create a new element of the world, He notes, and repeatedly, that this is good. Well, that process is also something that people can replicate, made as we are in the image of God. That's the thesis of the text. So the hypothesis there is that, well, if you're telling the truth, the world is laying itself out as it should. Now, you might not be able to see that because you're getting in trouble, at least in the short term, for what you have to say. But, there's lots of times in your life where you do something that feels good right now and it isn't so good in a week. And there's plenty of times when the reverse is true. If you do something difficult now, it might get you in all sorts of trouble. And it turns out that in 2 years, that was the best decision you could have ever possibly made. Well, that's what the truth is like. It's like, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to establish the cosmos in the proper order. That's statement of faith. And it sounds like you've already inculcated that in your kids. So I would say, first, congratulations, and second, more power to them. And then sit back to some degree and let it play out. Encourage them to continue doing what they're doing and watch. And don't assume that if things are going sideways from time to time, that means that, the whole game is lost. I found, for example, this very peculiar thing to have learned is that the people who have most viciously attacked me have done me the greatest favor. Now, that sometimes took 2 or 3 years to unfold, and it was quite brutal in the intermediary desert, let's say, but that's still how it inevitably worked out.